The awakening of Terra. In a distant corner of the galaxy, nestled among stars that twinkled like scattered diamonds, lay the Terran Republic. It was a small, isolated state, often overlooked by larger powers that dominated interstellar politics. For centuries, humanity had lived in relative obscurity, their advancements in technology overshadowed by more aggressive civilizations. Yet within this quiet republic, a transformation was brewing, one that would change not only their fate, but also that of the entire galaxy. The isolation of humanity. The Terran Republic had been founded on principles of self-sufficiency and resilience. Unlike other star systems that sought alliances and trade, they focused on building a robust internal structure. This isolation was both a blessing and a curse. While it allowed them to develop independently, it also left them vulnerable to external threats. Attempts to establish diplomatic ties with neighboring star systems had met with failure, often due to misunderstandings or outright disdain for humanity's perceived insignificance. As time passed, however, the leaders of Terra recognized that mere survival was not enough. They needed to evolve, to become a force that could stand shoulder to shoulder with their galactic neighbors. Thus began an ambitious program of social engineering aimed at enhancing education, fostering innovation, and ensuring population growth. Schools were established across colonies, scientists were encouraged to explore new frontiers in technology, and artists were commissioned to create works that would inspire unity among their people. The rise of new technologies. Among these advancements was a breakthrough in energy generation, a clean, limitless power source derived from harnessing cosmic rays. This technology not only made life easier for Terrans, but also positioned them as potential allies for those seeking sustainable energy solutions across the galaxy. As whispers of their achievements began to reach neighboring systems, curiosity grew about this once ignored republic. Yet, despite their progress, an air of uncertainty loomed over Terra. Intelligence reports indicated movements from an aggressive faction known as the Rugari Empire, a reptilian species known for its militaristic expansionism. Initially dismissed as mere rumors, these reports soon escalated into alarming news. The Rugari had annexed neighboring star systems with ruthless efficiency. The invasion begins. When news broke that the Rugari were advancing toward their territory, panic swept through the ranks of Terran leadership. They had prepared for many scenarios, but never anticipated facing an enemy so formidable. Emergency meetings were convened. Strategies were debated late into the night as leaders grappled with their options. "We cannot let fear dictate our actions," Commander Ilara Voss declared during one such meeting. Her voice resonated with authority as she stood before her fellow leaders, her eyes ablaze with determination. "We have spent too long in isolation. This is our moment to prove ourselves." Ilara's words ignited a fire within those present. They resolved to defend their home at all costs, but knew they needed more than just bravery. They required strategy and unity among their people. Mobilization and preparation. With urgency coursing through every facet of society, resources were mobilized for defense preparations. Factories shifted from producing consumer goods to crafting weapons and starships at an unprecedented pace. Training camps sprang up overnight as civilians transformed into soldiers ready to protect their homeland. In this time of crisis, alliances began to form, not only within Terra but also with other civilizations who saw potential in humanity's resolve. A call went out across space: "Join us in standing against tyranny." Responses came from unexpected quarters. Distant factions who had once dismissed humanity now expressed interest in collaboration against a common foe, an unexpected ally. As tensions mounted and war seemed inevitable, representatives from an ancient civilization known as the Elder arrived on Terra's doorstep. Their wisdom was legendary. They had witnessed countless conflicts across galaxies, yet remained neutral until now. They offered counsel and advanced technology that could tip the scales in favor of humanity. "We have seen your struggle," spoke Eldar envoy Lorian Thaler, his voice calm yet commanding as he addressed a gathering of Terran leaders. "Your ingenuity is unmatched. It is time you wield it against those who threaten your existence. With newfound hope and resources at their disposal, humanity prepared for what lay ahead. A confrontation that would not only test their mettle but also unveil secrets long buried beneath layers of history. The calm before the storm. As preparations continued amidst uncertainty, life on Terra carried on under an uneasy peace. Citizens went about their daily routines. Children played in parks while parents worked tirelessly in factories. But an undercurrent of tension rippled through society like electricity in a storm cloud ready to burst. In hidden corners of research labs, scientists studied ancient texts unearthed from deep within Terra's archives. Texts that hinted at powerful artifacts left behind by humanity's ancestors during their early explorations across stars long forgotten by time itself. These artifacts held secrets capable of altering destinies. They could be humanity's salvation or destruction, depending on how they were wielded in times of crisis. A new era dawns. As days turned into weeks, leading up to what everyone feared would be an all-out war against the Ruguri Empire. Hope flickered like a candle flame amid darkness, a reminder that even in isolation, humanity possessed strength born from resilience and ingenuity. Little did they know that soon enough, they would uncover not just ancient secrets, but also truths about themselves. Truths capable of changing not only their own fate, but also reshaping galactic history forever. Thus began a journey filled with challenges yet brimming with possibilities. A journey where every choice made would echo across stars long after they had faded into memory. The first contact. As the dust settled from the initial skirmishes between the Terran Republic and the Ruguri Empire, a new chapter in humanity's story began to unfold. The Terrans, once isolated and largely ignored by the galaxy, found themselves thrust into a conflict that would test their resolve and ingenuity. The unexpected invasion had not only awakened a fierce spirit within them, but also opened doors to alliances they had never imagined. The calm before the storm. In the days following their decisive victory against the Ruguri fleet, Terran leaders convened to discuss their next steps. Commander Ilara Voss, having proven her strategic prowess, was now at the forefront of these discussions. The mood in the war room was electric. A mixture of relief and anticipation filled the air. "We have shown them our strength," Ilara began, her voice steady yet passionate. "But we cannot let this victory blind us. The Ruguri are not a defeated enemy. They will regroup and strike again if we do not prepare." Her words resonated with her fellow leaders. They understood that this was not just about survival. It was about establishing a presence in the galaxy. The Terran Republic had been a mere footnote in galactic history, but now it had a chance to rewrite its narrative. Gathering intelligence. To fortify their defenses and prepare for potential counterattacks, Terran intelligence agencies ramped up their efforts. They deployed advanced listening posts throughout their territory, monitoring communications from both the Ruguri Empire and other nearby factions. What they uncovered was alarming. Whispers of an impending alliance among various alien species who viewed humanity as a potential threat. Meanwhile, Ilara initiated diplomatic outreach to neighboring systems that had previously dismissed humanity. She understood that forging alliances would be crucial for long-term survival. Her first target was the Itarian Confederation, known for its advanced technology and formidable fleet. A diplomatic mission. Ilara assembled a delegation of diplomats and military advisors for this mission. As they prepared to depart, she felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was uncharted territory for humanity, engaging with alien civilizations that had long regarded them as insignificant. Upon arriving at the Itarian capital, an opulent space station surrounded by shimmering stars, Ilara's team was met with skepticism. The Itarians were known for their cautious approach to diplomacy, and they were wary of humanity's sudden rise in power. "Why should we trust you?" asked Itarian Chancellor Varric during their first meeting. His tone was measured but firm, reflecting centuries of cautious diplomacy. "We have proven ourselves capable of defending our territory," Ilara replied confidently. "But we seek more than mere survival. We want to build partnerships that benefit all parties involved. The discussions were tense but productive. Ilara's determination began to sway some members of the Etarian Council. They recognized that an alliance with humanity could serve as a buffer against potential threats from the Rugari Empire. An unexpected visitor. Just as negotiations were gaining momentum, an unexpected visitor arrived, a Rugari envoy seeking peace talks. This development caught everyone off guard. After all, only weeks prior, they had been engaged in battle. The Rugari delegate, a towering figure named Kurazar, entered the chamber with an air of confidence that belied the recent defeat of his forces. "We come not as conquerors, but as equals," he declared, his voice deep and resonant. "The galaxy is vast, and we have much to gain from cooperation rather than conflict." Ilara exchanged glances with her team. This was an opportunity they could not ignore. However, trust would be hard-earned given their recent history. Negotiating peace. The peace talks commenced under tense circumstances. Both sides presented their terms while carefully navigating past grievances. Ilara took charge of the discussions on behalf of humanity, emphasizing mutual interests such as trade and technological exchange. Kurazar countered with proposals that highlighted the Rugari's military strength and resources. Together, he argued, we can create a coalition strong enough to deter any aggressor. As days turned into weeks, progress was made, but it was slow and fraught with challenges. Cultural misunderstandings arose frequently. Gestures meant to convey respect were sometimes misinterpreted as hostility. Ilara remained patient but resolute. She organized cultural exchange programs where both sides could learn about each other's customs and values. Slowly but surely, walls began to crumble. The turning point. One pivotal moment came when Kurazar visited Terra itself, a gesture meant to solidify trust between their peoples. He toured Terran cities and witnessed firsthand humanity's resilience and creativity. During his visit to a bustling marketplace, filled with vibrant colors and sounds, Kurazar expressed genuine admiration for human ingenuity. "You have built something remarkable here," he remarked as he observed artisans crafting intricate designs from local materials. This moment fostered camaraderie between Kurazar and Ilara, two leaders from vastly different worlds beginning to see each other as allies rather than adversaries. A coalition formed. As peace negotiations progressed, news spread across nearby star systems about this unprecedented alliance between humans and Rugari. Other civilizations began reaching out to both parties, some eager to join this coalition, while others remained skeptical. With each passing day, Ilara felt hope blooming within her heart, a hope that perhaps humanity could carve out its place in this vast galaxy after all. However, lurking in the shadows were those who opposed this alliance, factions within both societies who believed that cooperation would lead to weakness rather than strength. The threat within. Back on Terra, dissent began to brew among certain political factions who viewed any collaboration with Rugari as treachery against humanity's interests. They rallied support through propaganda campaigns that painted Kurazar's visit as an act of subjugation rather than partnership. Ilara faced mounting pressure from these factions as rumors spread like wildfire through social media channels. Are we selling our souls for false promises? Determined not to let fear dictate her actions or undermine progress made thus far, she organized public forums where citizens could voice concerns openly while also learning about the benefits of interspecies cooperation. A moment of truth. As tensions escalated both within Terra and among allied factions across space, it became clear that unity would be essential if they were to stand against any external threats, especially those posed by the Rugari Empire itself. In one final push toward peace before hostilities could erupt anew, Ilara called for an emergency summit involving all parties: humans, Rugari delegates, Etarians. Everyone who had stakes in this fragile coalition needed representation at this critical juncture. Standing before them amidst swirling emotions, fear mingled with hope, Ilara addressed her audience. "We stand at a crossroads today, not just for ourselves, but for generations yet unborn. Her words resonated deeply within those present. She reminded them that history would remember what choices they made in these pivotal moments. Chance at forging something extraordinary or succumbing once again into darkness alone. We have proven ourselves capable of defending our territory, Ilara replied confidently. But we seek more than mere survival. We want to build partnerships that benefit all parties involved. The discussions were tense but productive. Ilara's determination began to sway some members of the Etarian Council. They recognized that an alliance with humanity could serve as a buffer against potential threats from the Rugari Empire. An unexpected visitor. Just as negotiations were gaining momentum, an unexpected visitor arrived. A Rugari envoy seeking peace talks. This development caught everyone off guard. After all, only weeks prior, they had been engaged in battle. The Rugari delegate, a towering figure named Kirazar, entered the chamber with an air of confidence that belied the recent defeat of his forces. "We come not as conquerors, but as equals," he declared, his voice deep and resonant. "The galaxy is vast, and we have much to gain from cooperation rather than conflict." Ilara exchanged glances with her team. This was an opportunity they could not ignore. However, trust would be hard-earned given their recent history. Negotiating peace. The peace talks commenced under tense circumstances. Both sides presented their terms while carefully navigating past grievances. Ilara took charge of the discussions on behalf of humanity, emphasizing mutual interests such as trade and technological exchange. Kirazar countered with proposals that highlighted the Rugari's military strength and resources. Together, he argued, we can create a coalition strong enough to deter any aggressor. As days turned into weeks, progress was made, but it was slow and fraught with challenges. Cultural misunderstandings arose frequently. Gestures meant to convey respect were sometimes misinterpreted as hostility. Ilara remained patient but resolute. She organized cultural exchange programs where both sides could learn about each other's customs and values. Slowly but surely, walls began to crumble. The turning point. One pivotal moment came when Kirazar visited Terra itself, a gesture meant to solidify trust between their peoples. He toured Terran cities and witnessed firsthand humanity's resilience and creativity. During his visit to a bustling marketplace, filled with vibrant colors and sounds, Kirazar expressed genuine admiration for human ingenuity. "You have built something remarkable here," he remarked as he observed artisans crafting intricate designs from local materials. This moment fostered camaraderie between Kirazar and Ilara, two leaders from vastly different worlds beginning to see each other as allies rather than adversaries. A coalition formed. As peace negotiations progressed, news spread across nearby star systems about this unprecedented alliance between humans and Rugari. Other civilizations began reaching out to both parties, some eager to join this coalition, while others remained skeptical. With each passing day, Ilara felt hope blooming within her heart, a hope that perhaps humanity could carve out its place in this vast galaxy after all. However, lurking in the shadows were those who opposed this alliance. Factions within both societies who believed that cooperation would lead to weakness rather than strength. The threat within. Back on Terra, dissent began to brew among certain political factions who viewed any collaboration with Rugari as treachery against humanity's interests. They rallied support through propaganda campaigns that painted Kirazar's visit as an act of subjugation rather than partnership. Ilara faced mounting pressure from these factions as rumors spread like wildfire through social media channels. Are we selling our souls for false promises? Determined not to let fear dictate her actions or undermine progress made thus far, she organized public forums where citizens could voice concerns openly while also learning about the benefits of interspecies cooperation. A moment of truth. As tensions escalated both within Terra and among allied factions across space, it became clear that unity would be essential if they were to stand against any external threats, especially those posed by the Rugari Empire itself. In one final push toward peace before hostilities could erupt anew, Ilara called for an emergency summit involving all parties: humans, Rugari delegates, Itarians. Everyone who had stakes in this fragile coalition needed representation at this critical juncture. Standing before them amidst swirling emotions, fear mingled with hope, Ilara addressed her audience. "We stand at a crossroads today, not just for ourselves, but for generations yet unborn." Her words resonated deeply within those present. She reminded them that history would remember what choices they made in these pivotal moments. As discussions continued late into the night, under flickering lights illuminating anxious faces around her, a new dawn awaited them all. Secrets unveiled. In the aftermath of the peace negotiations, the Terran Republic found itself at a crossroads. The alliance with the Rugari Empire had opened new doors, but it also brought to light ancient secrets that could alter the course of their history. As both species sought to understand one another better, they stumbled upon relics from humanity's past, artifacts that held immense power and knowledge. The discovery of ancient artifacts. Deep within the archives of the Terran Republic, a team of historians and archaeologists began to sift through centuries-old texts and relics. Among them was Dr. Mira Talon, a passionate archaeologist whose curiosity was matched only by her determination. She believed that within these artifacts lay not just remnants of human history, but keys to unlocking their future. One fateful day, while examining a particularly ornate device, Dr. Talon discovered inscriptions that hinted at advanced technologies lost to time. "This is incredible," she exclaimed, her eyes gleaming with excitement. These artifacts might contain blueprints for energy sources far beyond what we currently possess. Her discovery sent ripples through the scientific community. The potential to harness such technologies could not only strengthen their defenses, but also enhance their collaboration with the Rugari and other allies. A new alliance formed. As news of Dr. Talon's findings spread, Ilara Voss saw an opportunity to solidify the alliance between humans and Rugari. She proposed a joint expedition to uncover more about these ancient artifacts, believing that shared knowledge would foster deeper trust between their peoples. Kurazar, the Rugari delegate, agreed enthusiastically. "Our people have long valued knowledge," he stated, his scaly features softening at the prospect of collaboration. "Together, we can unlock secrets that may benefit us both." The expedition was set for a distant planet known as Silara 9, rumored to be rich in ancient ruins and artifacts. A diverse team comprising Terran scientists and Rugari historians was assembled, each eager to contribute their unique perspectives. Journey to Silara 9. The journey to Silara 9 was filled with anticipation. As their ships soared through the stars, Ilara took a moment to reflect on how far they had come. Just months ago, they were enemies. Now they were partners in exploration. Upon arrival, they were greeted by a breathtaking landscape, a mix of towering crystalline structures and lush greenery that seemed untouched by time. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement as teams set out to explore the ruins scattered across the planet's surface. Dr. Talon led a group into an ancient temple adorned with intricate carvings, depicting scenes of humanity's early explorations among the stars. "These images tell a story," she remarked as she traced her fingers over the engravings. "They suggest that our ancestors were once explorers who ventured far beyond our current knowledge." Unraveling the past. As they delved deeper into the temple's chambers, they uncovered more artifacts, strange devices that hummed with energy and crystals pulsating with light. Each discovery brought them closer to understanding humanity's forgotten legacy. However, not all was smooth sailing. Tensions occasionally flared between Terran and Rugari team members as cultural misunderstandings arose. Ilara worked diligently to mediate these conflicts, emphasizing their shared goal of uncovering history, rather than allowing differences to divide them. One evening around a campfire beneath Silara 9's twin moons, Ilara gathered everyone together for a discussion. "We are on this journey not just for ourselves, but for our peoples," she said passionately. "Let us remember that our strengths lie in our differences. Her words resonated deeply within her audience. It was a reminder that unity could be forged through understanding. A hidden threat. As days turned into weeks of exploration and discovery, an unsettling feeling began to creep into their camp, an awareness that they were not alone on Xelera 9. Strange occurrences began happening. Equipment malfunctioned without explanation. Shadows flitted at the edges of their encampment at night, and some team members reported hearing whispers in the dark. Dr. Talon dismissed these concerns initially as mere fatigue or anxiety from prolonged exposure to unfamiliar environments. However, Ilara sensed something more sinister lurking beneath the surface. One night, while on guard duty alongside Kurazar, they spotted movement in the distance, figures cloaked in darkness watching them from afar. "We should investigate," Kurazar suggested cautiously. Ilara nodded in agreement. Curiosity outweighed fear as they quietly approached the figures hidden among the ruins. Confronting shadows, as they drew closer, it became clear that these figures were not friendly explorers, but rather mercenaries hired by factions who opposed the alliance between humans and Ruguri. Their goal was simple: sabotage any efforts at cooperation and reclaim control over Xelera 9 for themselves. "What do you want?" Ilara demanded as she stepped forward, her voice steady despite her racing heart. The leader of the mercenaries smirked, a cruel twist of lips on a face lined with scars from countless battles. "We want you gone," he replied coldly. "This planet belongs to those who understand its true power." Before Ilara could respond, chaos erupted as mercenaries launched an attack on their camp under cover of darkness. The battle for Xelera 9. The ensuing battle was fierce. Terran soldiers fought valiantly alongside their Ruguri allies against overwhelming odds. Ilara coordinated defenses while Kurazar led his warriors into combat with ferocity unmatched by any enemy they had faced before. Together, Ilara shouted amidst the chaos as she rallied her forces, "We can't let them take what we've worked so hard for." With renewed determination coursing through them, both sides fought back against their attackers, human ingenuity combined with Ruguri strength creating an unstoppable force. As dawn broke over Xelera 9's horizon, it became clear that unity had triumphed over division once again. Together they had defended not just their lives, but also their shared vision for a brighter future. Aftermath and reflection. In the aftermath of victory, Ilara gathered her team around a makeshift table strewn with maps and artifacts recovered from battle remnants. They had successfully driven off the mercenaries, but realized this was merely one skirmish in an ongoing struggle against those who wished to see them fail. "We've proven what we can achieve together," she said firmly as she looked each person in the eye, Terran and Ruguri alike, her voice filled with conviction. "But we must remain vigilant. There are forces out there who will stop at nothing to tear us apart." Dr. Talon chimed in with excitement about their discoveries amidst all this chaos. "These artifacts hold knowledge we can use. We need to analyze them further. They may contain information about our ancestors' journeys among stars long forgotten." With renewed purpose fueling their efforts moving forward, the alliance between humans and Ruguri stood stronger than ever before, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them next. The turning tide. With newfound resolve stemming from their recent victories on Xelera 9, humanity and its Ruguri allies prepared themselves for what lay ahead, a confrontation that would determine not only their fate, but also shape galactic history itself. Preparing for war. Back on Terra, Commander Ilara Voss convened an emergency council meeting attended by key military leaders from both species. The atmosphere buzzed with urgency as plans were laid out for confronting external threats posed by factions opposed to their alliance. "We cannot afford complacency," Ilara stated firmly as she addressed her colleagues gathered around a holographic display showcasing strategic maps of known enemy territories surrounding them. "We must act swiftly before our enemies regroup." Kurazar nodded in agreement beside her. His presence served as a reminder that unity remained essential even amidst growing tensions elsewhere across space. "We have learned much about our enemies during recent skirmishes," he added thoughtfully while analyzing projected movements displayed on screen before him. Data compiled from intelligence reports gathered since peace negotiations began months earlier. Strategic alliances. Recognizing that strength lay not just within themselves, but also through alliances forged across various star systems, they reached out once more to potential allies willing to join forces against mutual threats looming ever closer by day. Ilara dispatched envoys across neighboring regions, seeking assistance from those who understood what was at stake: freedom versus oppression. A battle fought throughout history across galaxies far beyond theirs alone. Among those contacted were representatives from diverse civilizations, technologically advanced Etarians, still wary after initial encounters, enigmatic Eldar known for wisdom accumulated over millennia, even smaller factions seeking refuge amid larger powers vying for control over resources dwindling rapidly throughout known space. Rallying support. As envoys returned bearing news both encouraging yet daunting, Ilara organized summits aimed at rallying support among disparate factions, eager for change amidst growing unrest, fueled by fear tactics employed against them all. During one such summit held aboard flagship vessels orbiting Terra, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation as leaders gathered together sharing stories filled with hope tempered by caution, a reminder that unity would be vital if they wished to stand firm against adversity ahead. Together we can forge something greater than ourselves, Ilara proclaimed passionately during opening remarks delivered before assembled representatives, her voice echoing throughout Grand Chamber adorned richly reflecting cultures represented therein. Let us build bridges instead walls separating us further apart. Her words struck chords deep within hearts present igniting flames of determination burning brightly illuminating paths forward towards collaboration rather than conflict. Strengthening bonds. As discussions progressed over days filled laughter mingled alongside serious debates regarding strategies moving forward, they discovered common ground rooted within shared values transcending differences previously perceived insurmountable barriers separating them. Amongst newfound friendships forged through adversity emerged alliances based not solely upon necessity but genuine respect, cultivated through understanding one another's histories, cultures, traditions. Khazar frequently engaged fellow delegates exchanging stories reflecting upon struggles faced throughout his people's past, while simultaneously learning about humanity's own journey towards self-discovery, resilience, perseverance. A new strategy emerges. By week's end, a comprehensive strategy emerged aimed at countering threats posed by those unwilling to accept changes unfolding around them. Ilara stood before assembled leaders presenting final plan detailing coordinated efforts involving joint military exercises designed to enhance combat readiness, while simultaneously engaging communities impacted directly conflict, ensuring no one left behind during tumultuous times ahead. Together we will show our enemies what true strength looks like, she declared confidently, raising fist high above head, inspiring cheers erupting throughout chamber, resonating deep within souls present, reminding everyone gathered here today why fighting mattered so much. The calm before battle. In preparation leading up, battle dawned upon horizon, casting shadows long across vast expanse, stretching endlessly before them. A reminder time fleeting, yet opportunities abound if seized correctly. Days turned into weeks filled rigorous training exercises, honing skills necessary to ensure success when faced inevitable confrontations awaiting them soon enough. Amidst preparations, camaraderie blossomed further, strengthening bonds formed earlier, forging connections transcending mere alliances, becoming friendships rooted deeply mutual respect, admiration, shared experiences endured together. Ilara often found herself reflecting moments spent alongside Khazar, sharing laughter, stories, dreams, aspirations, hopes, fears, all woven together, creating tapestry-rich, vibrant colors, depicting unity forged through adversity, overcoming obstacles faced along path traveled thus far. The day arrives. Finally, the day arrived when forces converged upon battlefield chosen, strategically located near outskirts territory claimed once ruled mercenaries, opposed alliance now threatening existence itself. As ships lined up ready launch into fray, anticipation hung thick air, electrifying hearts beating wildly within chests, eager prove worthiness, fight alongside comrades, united purpose greater than themselves alone. Ilara stood atop command deck, surveying fleet amassed below. Her heart swelled pride, knowing each vessel represented lives dedicated, cause fighting against tyranny, oppression, seeking freedom, justice, equality, everywhere sought after, galaxy long denied, many too often forgotten, overlooked. Today we fight not just for ourselves, but all those who believe in brighter future. She rallied troops gathered around, listening intently, absorbing every word spoken, resonating deep within souls present, igniting flames, determination burning brightly, illuminating paths forward toward victory awaiting beyond horizon, stretching endlessly ahead. And so, the battle commenced. A clash between forces representing hope versus despair. A testament, resilience, ingenuity, strength, forged through unity, standing tall amidst chaos whirling around them.